But I still think that all K-pop companies need to do a better job at protecting their foreign idols and standing up for them in situations like this, even if they do lose a bit of coin.
I'm saying I don't wanna come down from your love. We'll get lost together like we fight. Don't ever let me come down from your love. From your love. From your love.
Hey everyone, it's Pre here. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. In today's video, I'm going to discuss EVERGLOW's Yiren and the real reason why she's suddenly been sent to China on hiatus. I haven't seen many people discussing this issue on YouTube, and I've seen that some news sources aren't reporting on the entire issue, so I thought it would be a good idea to let you know what's going on. But before we get into it, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell for more multi-fandom K-pop content. Also, if you're looking for a really fun, safe community where you can engage with myself and other K-pop fans and even talk about this issue that I'm going to discuss in this video, make sure to join my Discord server. At this time, we have about 1,600 members and we're growing really quickly. We have a lot of fun, so make sure to check it out. The link will be in the pinned comment. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Wang Yiren is a Chinese idol who's a member of Yuehua's girl group EVERGLOW. She is the lead dancer, sub-vocalist, sub-rapper, visual center, face, and maknae of EVERGLOW, and she was also a contestant in Produce 48. I also want to note that Yuehua Entertainment is a Chinese company that's based in Beijing, and I want you to keep that in mind for later. So now let's talk about what occurred on January 2nd and why Yiren is currently on hiatus. On January 2nd, EVERGLOW held a fan meeting in Seoul. During that fan meeting, the other members of EVERGLOW greeted the fans in the traditional Korean style by bowing with their faces towards the floor. However, Yiren remained standing and used a fist and palm hand gesture. And this is a Chinese gesture used to express thanks and New Year's greetings and translates to basically making big money or wishing good fortune. In Chinese culture, kneeling down in that manner is kind of seen as outdated and isn't really done anymore because it's seen as a servile gesture. Chinese media covering the issue explained that the Chinese only kneel for the heavens, the earth, and their parents. So Yiren did what she felt was appropriate in that instance in accordance to her Chinese culture. Unfortunately, K-netizens went into an uproar online after observing Yiren's gesture. Many expressed their distaste for Yiren's actions, telling her to go back to China, that if she acts that way she shouldn't promote in Korea, etc. Some K-netizens even went so far as to demand Yiren's departure from the group and even called for the expulsion of all Chinese idols from K-pop. No more Chinese idols. Just look at her character. This is the risk you take on when you choose to bring in a Chinese idol to train. How many Chinese idols have already backstabbed Korean companies after gaining popularity? How can you see how successful BTS is and still bring in Chinese members into these groups? I am sick and tired of the Chinese and their Sinocentrism. Then why does she bother singing in Korean? Why learn Korean at all? Can we please stop taking in these CCP kids and training them? Return her to her country if she refuses to accept and follow Korean culture. On the other hand, numerous Chinese media sources came to Yiren's defense and applauded her for clinging onto her culture despite working abroad as an idol. Shi Wen-zhe, a cultural critic based in Beijing, told the Global Times, "Wang just went to South Korea for work, not to become a South Korean. She pursues her career in the country by spending a lot of effort in singing and dancing, which shows her love of K-pop culture. However, this does not mean she has to follow all South Korean culture. To seek harmony and diversity is the principle of our cultural coexistence." Zhang Peng, a film researcher at Nanjing's University National Research Center of Cultural Industries, stated, "Wang has set a good example for Chinese entertainers developing their careers overseas. They never forget their roots. However, due to the backlash and cyber Yiren received online from the Korean public, a week after the fan meet, Yuehua Entertainment suddenly announced that Yiren would take a temporary hiatus to visit China and focus on her other studies. Hello, this is Yuehua Entertainment. First of all, we would like to express our gratitude to all the fans who showed love and support to EVERGLOW. We have an announcement concerning EVERGLOW member Yiren. From mid-January to the end of February, she will stay in China to pursue further studies and spend time with her family, whom she has not been able to visit for a while due to the COVID-19 pandemic. While Yiren is in China, EVERGLOW will continue to promote as a 5-member group, which means they will continue with all their scheduled events without any changes. Thank you for your understanding." Many EVERGLOW fans were worried that this could point to Yiren's departure from the group, since Yuehua is based in China and the company could have other plans plans for her there. For example, former Princeton member Kyung and the Chinese members of WJSN returned to China mid-contract and pursued a career in their home country instead of remaining in South Korea. But some fans did point out that it could just be that Yiren was sent home due to Chinese New Year, which is on February 1st. Okay, so now I'll give you guys my honest opinion on this situation. First of all, I'm not Korean or Chinese, so I can't even pretend to begin to fully understand all the cultural dynamics and differences or political tension between the two countries. I can only give my insight as an international fan. However, I will say that Yiren did not deserve any of the xenophobic backlash she received online from K-nets. While she is a K-pop idol working in South Korea, that doesn't mean that she should not be able to hold on to her identity as a Chinese woman. The fist and palm gesture she used is a New Year's or a good fortune expression, so she was obviously showing her appreciation to the fans while the other Korean members of EVERGLOW bowed. So she wasn't being disrespectful in any way, and I really don't know why this was made into such an issue. I would also like to point out that this is not the first time that Chinese idols were able to greet or show respect in their own cultural way versus the South Korean way. Please watch this short clip, which was actually sent to me by one of my subscribers. So Fran, if you're watching this, thank you so much.
Cyber from Korean netizens had gotten worse. Her agency announced that Yiren will go back to China for her studies when Tao was still in XO and he squatted while members around him were on their knees. Jackson Wang was even more hilarious. He lied face down completely flat. Junhui and Minhao were allowed to just bow instead of kneeling on a Korean show. Why the differential treatment of Chinese male versus female idols by Korean netizens?
So as you just saw in the clip, other Chinese idols such as Tao from EXO, Jun and Minghao from 17, and Jackson from GOT7 were allowed to bow and show respect in accordance to their Chinese culture. So why is Yiren being torn apart online? Is this another double standard at play between female idols and male idols? I can't help but to think back to the incident with Twice's Chewie in 2015. In 2015, Chewie appeared with Twice on the Korean variety show My Little Television. During the show, Chewie introduced herself as Taiwanese and held the flag of the Republic of China or Taiwan alongside the flag of South Korea. In response to this, Chinese netizens were outraged because, in their opinion, Chewie was showing she was proud of Taiwanese independence by holding the Taiwanese flag. They felt that that was offensive, and they threatened to boycott all JYPE products. In response to all of this, JYPE forced Chewie to apologize in a video for showing pride in her culture. Mind you, at the time, Chewie was only 16 years old, so imagine how humiliating and horrifying that must have been for her. At the end of the day, K-pop is now a global genre that has expanded way beyond Korea and East Asia, and there are many non-Korean or foreign idols in the industry. Non-Korean idols should not be mistreated or punished holding on to their identities. Maintaining your identity is not the same as disrespecting the country you're living and working in, and I don't think it's fair that some K-netizens are demanding that Yiren should conform, especially in this situation. On top of that, personally, I'm not buying Wei Hua's statement that Yiren was sent to China to focus on her studies and visit her family, especially since the announcement was made a week after the fan meet and Yiren was continuously attacked by K-nets online. I think the timing of this is not coincidental. More than anything though, I think I'm a bit disappointed at Wei Hua for not sticking up for Yiren in some way. They're a Chinese company based in China, so I would have at least expected them to say something online about all the xenophobic rhetoric K-net spewed. Sadly though, at the end of the day, they're a business with a South Korean audience, so maybe they just wanted to tread lightly and simply keep Yiren away from public eye until the backlash dies down. But I still think that all K-pop companies need to do a better job at protecting their foreign idols and standing up for them in situations like this, even if they do lose a bit of coin. Anyway, what are your opinions on this issue? Do you feel that Yiren was treated unfairly in this situation for using a Chinese greeting instead of bowing in the South Korean way? Can you think of other instances where Chinese idols were treated unfairly in K-pop by their companies or by fans? Drop your thoughts about the situation in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell. Also, make sure to check out my Discord server. The link will be in the pinned comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!